Hi, my name's Keith Cooper from Northlight Images. I'm often asked what I do with all the prints I make. Well, because we're moving home shortly, I've had to address that issue because a lot of them have lived in these drawers here. This is a map chest or chart drawers, and several drawers of this were full of prints. This is about that thickness of prints. What I'm going to do with these, I've had a bit of a clear out and I've got even more, so there's probably a foot thickness of prints in all. I was tempted, because we're moving home, to actually throw them away because they are no great value to me. They're test prints, most of them. And before anyone asks, no, I've tried giving away prints before in the past. People do not have space for things like this. So what am I going to do with them? I'm going to pack them. I'm going to have a bit of a sort out of them. I'm going to pack them away carefully. And when I have a new place to shoot videos, I'm going to start a whole series of videos, basically short videos, not shorts though. I do appreciate people's comments when I asked the other day. Short videos going through these pictures, why I took them, if there are important aspects from my photography about them, just generally chatting about specific pictures, because I've had a lot of people say, great, you've got all this stuff about the technical side of printing, but what about the photos that you take? And here are, and there must be, I suppose there must be nearly 1,000 pictures or so. Now, they're not all going to be ones I'm going to go, but the idea is that when I've got somewhere new to be able to cover what's in the photos, I can just take photos and just do a short, just film a short and then do 2 or 3 of those together, and then do a weekly series of just looking at some pictures. And they'll cover things like composition, printing, technical aspects, and also the why I took them, what they mean to me. Just as a quick taster, this particular print here, this is in Colorado. You can tell the time of year, hopefully, from the picture. The colours were astounding. The sky was brilliantly deep blue. This is at sort of 9,000 feet, I suppose. Well, easily that, but perhaps even a bit more. It's Ohio Pass. And this was a day that when this was the first time Karen came with me to Colorado, and we went out for a drive. And previously I'd been in the spring, and routes like this are not open. So we had a car that was able to do it. The picture itself is taken with a TSE 24 tilt shift lens. Handheld, because I didn't have a tripod with me. The key to this is that by using shift, and having the camera level, I can change the composition and keep the vertical lines nice and straight and vertical. Now, from a technical point of view, doing this particular print, there are some slight problems in that I may have fractionally overexposed the image, and that's dangerous when you've got strong, bright colors like this. Also, some of these colors are out of gamut for Adobe 98, so this is an image that I worked in the Pro Photo color space. That needs a lot of care, because you will find, and it's typical when printing as well, you will find that some of these dark, rich colors from the leaves, not necessarily these bright ones, but some of these darker colors are out of printer gamut. So you need to be very careful about the paper you printed on. This is Epson Premium Luster. I think it was printed on a P7000 when I was testing one a good few years ago. That's it printed on luster paper, and it has a nice crisp feel to it. It works. So this is when I was testing that. What I also have, and this is why I'm not going to be doing this until I've got somewhere to do it, because I want to be able to put the print up on a stand or something like that and talk about it rather than just like this so you can actually see it. There is a version printed on, I don't know, this is a smooth matte art paper. Now, the colour is nowhere near as good. Doesn't have that intensity, but that's because of the inks. But also, those browns and those dark colours, which are just about printable on the other print, on this one come out too dark. So the shadows on this are just too dark. There's no detail in the shadows, not because detail wasn't captured, but because this particular print setting that I was using, I couldn't really capture it and print it as well. So if I just go back to the other one, this is the same image, and this is it printed on that. Now, anyway, that's just a quick intro to that. I'm not going to go through, obviously I've got, you know, as I say, potentially over 1,000. I'm going to carefully pack these all away. They're going to go over to the new house, and when I've got somewhere that I can actually show them, I'm going to do a series. It'll be like one a week, maybe 1 or 2 photos per episode of it, and they will look at things, as I say, like composition, black and white, color, paper choices, printer choices, where I can remember what printer I did them on, because that's another thing. Some of these are quite old. Some of them are actually images from scanned film, and the last time I shot film was in the 20th century. So, but they are prints this size. Anyway, lots of stuff like that. Thanks again to everyone who's commented on the shorts thing. I really would emphasize the idea of doing shorts is not in any way to replace any of my longer form content. It is purely so that I can potentially get this to a larger, wider audience, because YouTube doesn't necessarily favor the sort of long rambling videos that I do. Yeah, don't worry, yeah, it's something I've been accused of since I was all first at school, so it ain't going to change now. But anyway, that's upcoming. And I'd forgotten this picture. It's a really nice picture. I think this one might almost, perhaps a reworked version of it, might even find a place on the wall in the new house. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.